This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
It is Friday, the 4th of October, 2024. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. This is News to 6 a.m. on News Power Digital and METV. Good morning. Caribbean Airlines pilots staged a protest at the Piarco International Airport yesterday, calling on government to settle outstanding wages. The off-duty car pilots, clad in their uniforms yesterday, staged a placard protest at the airport as they called for a 4% salary increase. Approximately 40 pilots gathered in front of the airport and walked through the airport on Golden Grove Road to express their frustrations over unresolved negotiations, which they claim have been going on for 9 years. The Trinidad and Tobago Pilots Association TALPA president Jason Wickham said the unions have agreed to government's 4% wage increase offer and submitted its agreement to the CPO, but are yet to receive a response. Wickham said, quote, "In the spirit of good faith and our commitment to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and to Caribbean Airlines, we've requested a 4% salary increase, which aligns with the government's mandate to the CPO." From as early as 7 a.m. yesterday, the pilots started their silent protest walking through the main departure hall, bearing the placards. They then gathered outside the airport's entrance, urging government to settle unpaid wages and increments owed to them. Wickham assured the protest was organized in a way that did not impact travelers entering or leaving the country. While there is yet no official word from kidnapped victim Sachel Kunj Bihari, reports are that an unidentified body has been discovered in central Trinidad. Investigators are in the process of trying to ID the body. 2 police officers are still assisting detectives of the Professional Standards Bureau in connection with the investigation of the kidnapping of the foreign used car dealer. The 2 officers, including an acting police corporal and 2 constables, are stationed in the Central Division. Kunj Bihari was abducted on September 25th in Chaguanas by occupants of an allegedly marked police vehicle. 2 days later, the Trinidad Tobago Police Service issued a media statement in which it said the officers were actively pursuing all leads into the incident where individuals dressed in tactical uniforms intercepted a vehicle on Jerningham Railway Road, Chaguanas. It was reported that 3 occupants in a marked police vehicle detained the 32-year-old man and left the scene with him. Meanwhile, the mother of the Canopia businessman Sachel Kunj Bihari, who was kidnapped over a week ago, is pleading with those involved to return him alive to his family. Lincia Hansraj made a heartfelt plea to those responsible for taking away her son Sachel, the used car dealer. The Police Complaints Authority PCA report into police handling of domestic violence cases includes involving members of the police service, has also stated that several women with complaints against their abusers were killed before the cases were handled, processed, or resolved. In its Domestic Violence Report 2024, the PCA cited reports of domestic violence among civilians against relatives and noted instances among all reports where the victims later refused to pursue legal action against their abusers for a number of reasons. The report cited 18 reports of DV, including 10 against police officers, among them retired officers, and a case involving a member of the SRP unit. The PCA recommended all TTPS staff were to be trained on the treatment in this category of complainants and take steps to sensitize the TTPS on domestic violence issues. The grandfather of the baby who was brutally beaten, later rescued by police from a Claxton Bay home, is now demanding answers from the Children's Authority. Yesterday, they questioned why the child was removed from his care and sent to live with a relative in Barabella train line where she endured a vicious beating that left her with a broken rib, a blue blackened eye, cuts in her hands, and a scorch mark on her leg from an iron. 3 people are now in police custody, one of whom said the baby was demon-possessed. In a statement issued last night, the Children's Authority said it's conducting joint investigations with police into the incident involving injuries sustained by the young child, a girl. The authority said it's investigating the matter, and psychosocial interventions have been applied, while the police are conducting a criminal investigation into allegations of child abuse and maltreatment. The authority confirmed the child was removed because her safety was considered to be jeopardized. John Prokop completed his swim from Tobago to Trinidad and became the first man to successfully swim from Tobago to Trinidad in a single effort around 9:30 p.m. yesterday evening. The Brazilian swimmer began his long inter-island journey from the port of Scarborough in Tobago at 8 p.m. on October 2nd. He never left the water since getting into it, and unlike other swimmers who have attempted the grueling feat, Prokop never once held on to or touched supporting boats for assistance while swimming, staying afloat, or resting in the water. He was expected to reach the destination in Toko last evening, and we have confirmation that he actually did successfully complete the swim. Prokop was provided with an ample supply of drinking water, coconut water, Lucasade, in short, bananas for potassium from supporting boats. The last 5 miles of his brazen swim was streamed live on Facebook by a boat crew member, Michael McLean, aboard one of the supporting boats. At that point, there were over 1,200 viewers on the live stream, watching it across TNT, the Caribbean, and across the globe. And that is news to 6 a.m. right here on News Power Digital. We'll have major news coming your way at 7 a.m. Good morning.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
It is the 4th day of October. Yep, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the Power Breakfast Show on Power 102 Digital. Full casting this morning. You just heard from Dr. Paul Richards. We'll hear from Wendell Stephen. We'll hear from Richard Ragoobarsingh. We got Ruben and Shane in the mix. Of course, my name is Steve Khan. All right, so good morning to you. 25 degrees on our Twin Island Republic. Yep, 25 degrees. And what the matter of is, did they update it yet? Let's take a quick check and see if they updated their weather. They have, and they're saying it's going to be generally sunny conditions, interrupted by a few partly cloudy periods with showers. There's a 60% chance, which is medium, of isolated heavy shower or thunderstorm activity favoring, but not confined to northern, central, and eastern areas, mainly during the afternoon. All right, so that's your weather forecast for today. Traffic-wise, I have one accident to tell you about, and it is, let's see how to put this. It's on the Uriah Butler Highway. They're saying it's southbound after the County River. So that's going to create a little pile up there. Apart from that, usual, Freeport to Sugargorner, Charlieville towards Caroni. And getting into Port of Spain, just got some congestion. All right. Good morning to you, Pablo.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, everyone.
Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning. Where's Wendell? Is he in?
No, not yet.
No, not yet. And yes, Paul, John Prokop, Tobago, Scarborough to Trinidad. Where did he land in Trinidad? Not too sure.
In Toko.
In Toko. Yeah, just over 24 hours it took. Man, he's real good. Better than Watson Duke. But anyway.
You never swam from Tobago.
No, he just entered the water, jumped in a boat.
And then jumped back in another boat.
And then...
and then jumped back in another boat.
So good morning to you, John Prokop. You must be exhausted. I can't answer. My mind would just be going.
You could do it, Steve. You would float.
I would float, but I study in the sharks below.
No. Good morning, Wendell.
Morning, Wendell.
Morning, Paul. Morning, Steve.
Let me be kind this morning.
Oh, why start now?
You tell me good morning, and then you want me to say good morning. What kind of thing?
Good morning, bro.
Good morning, gentlemen. What did I miss? A kingfisher stressed me out this morning. It had me in my yard for the last 10-15 minutes trying to get it away from my pond. Every time I run it, it flew away and coming back.
That's how we just take him and jump in because he go off on a rant one time. He didn't take a breath.
No, but I didn't sleep already, right?
All right. The kingfisher had it up. Move on.
No, the kingfisher just had me in my yard. But
Right, so good. You're right. It's going.
So I
Right.
kind of crabby.
Oh, jeez. I just want to tell you, Wendell, if it wasn't for you, I'd be bareback today.
Let me see. Oh, it looks nice. Oh, it looks lovely. Paul, did you get yours? Where's yours?
Yes, I did.
And we had a pack to do for him to wear it this morning. I said,
Well,
Wendell,
you had a pack. I
face
never had
all
any
this traffic to bring this t-shirt. You'll be home. Wear it on the show. No, but he decided to support Gary Griffin.
But I am blue too, although it looks like green on the end thing.
It's blue on my side.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's a nice jersey, Steve. That's a very nice jersey.
I tell you, I'd be bareback. It's a good thing that you know the ladies inside of here will go crazy.
Where's that, Paul?
We didn't hear you, Paul.
If I were this morning, I'd be accused of all sorts of things.
Oh.
Yeah, where's that?
I have no
I ain't walk no Obi on them shirt.
You bought it, you should know the color you chose.
What color I choose? I don't know,
White?
I'll send you a picture.
Of your t-shirt, Jamaican t-shirts are all in one color.
No, it's not.
They are okay. Well, you're surprising me there. I
You
didn't know
what you
that.
buy.
Okay.
You're trying to put me in place. That's what happened to you.
Let me move
The
this
one for
camera.
Richard
so
is
you can see
totally
my-
green.
Right? So you just said they're all in one color. Steve is primarily black, Richard's in totally in green.
No, but I'm saying the base color is always one of those three colors, Jamaica jerseys. If you know what I mean.
And what do you think mine base color is?
White, if I'm not mistaken.
White.
I'll send you a picture.
All right, send a picture. And not with this t-shirt alone on, please.
I wouldn't do that great service this morning. Steve. You might get too insecure.
You saved the ladies in the office. I come to work without a shirt, or they'll go crazy. Nobody will be able to work today.
Let me find my birthdays. Yesterday was Garth Sinclair's birthday.
Oh, was it? Happy belated birthday, Garth.
Garth listens to us every single day. Today
There's
is
another popular person's birthday. I saw it this morning, but
today is also Don Lopez.
Robin Foster's birthday is today.
Okay, and I have Antonio
Happy
Batista.
birthday, Robin.
Yesterday was Charmaine Ford's birthday also. Charmaine Ford. Oh boy. Why is he called?
Okay. Well, today is two from Nisha Oja, who I've known all my life. Happy birthday to you. And Francis Homer. And let me say condolences going out to Vonnet Bigford. Condolences to you, Vonnet, on the passing of Conrad David Bigford. I'm guessing that he is your dad.
He was a grandfather.
Oh, grandfather. Okay.
Okay.
March 4th, 25 to yesterday.
Condolences to Vonnet and her family.
Good condolences to you, Vonnet and family and friends. Yeah, and today is also the birthday, drum roll, of the grand lady, the one, the only, Ingrid Isaac.
Oh, today's Ingrid's birthday. Happy birthday, Ingrid. Happy birthday, Miss Isaac. I should say
That's
Miss
the chief
Isaac.
honcho of these corridors.
I've never called her Ingrid. Miss Isaac. Happy birthday, Miss Isaac.
I call her all kind of thing. All kind of thing I call her. So
tomorrow is the birthday of Adrian Hackshaw, aka Third Base.
Third Base.
Yeah, and Theron Shaw. They're celebrating their birthdays tomorrow. So happy birthday in advance. And on Sunday will be Patrice Prokop Shaw. Happy birthday, Patrice, in advance. Steve
Related
D'Souza.
to John Prokop?
I don't know. Patrice is one of the nicest people you could meet. I worked with Patrice briefly when I did a stint at Meal Flair under the Ministry of Works, way back under the NAR government. Yeah. She and Muktikar.
Nigel Camacho's birthday is tomorrow as well. President of the Queen's Park Cricket Club.
Oh, Dr. Nigel Camacho.
Yeah.
All right. Happy birthday, Nigel.
And the Waziri Khan Edu out in Ontario, Canada. celebrate
Yes,
his birthday.
Wazir Khan Idu. Did you just say that there?
Yeah,
Yes, his birthday is also coming. Yes.
yeah.
All right. So all the October people, you know how we rock. So congratulations to John Prokop. Is that his name?
Yeah. John Prokop.
Where did that come out from? Where did you didn't? I wasn't even aware somebody was attempting that swim.
Yeah, it was on for a while that he was going to do it.
Oh.
So I can't even, leaving Scarborough at 8 o'clock in the night, and that would have been Wednesday evening, and then coming across the Toko at about 9:30. I don't know. I'd just be thinking the teeth below me.
But he had an accompanying boat, a crew with him right through, eh?
He had a couple.
Mm-hmm.
So
well done. Apparently, he's an old QRC student based on a
yes,
post I
he's
saw
from QRC.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Karen is saying this was his third attempt.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, kudos, they did it.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, and you can see on those watching us on Me TV and YouTube and Facebook, there he is, swimming. The water is calm, boy.
He had a great day for swim. It was a great day for swim.
I find the water was unusually calm when I saw it.
Yeah.
I thought it looked swimming pool like type water.
No, deep
the water, and it was a nice sunny day, warm. It didn't seem like cold water, although it may have been.
Probably have been. Wow.
But that's some level of stamina he's displayed there. So.
Yeah, boy.
What?
Happy 93rd birthday, Frank James, from your wife Wendy and your children Sigrid and Simon, and I do not pronounce that. Or your grandchildren, Isaac and Skylar and
Isaac and Skylar. That was grandchildren. All right, happy birthday, Frank.
Mr. Prokop swimming here.
Mm-hmm.
From Tobago to Toko, from Scarborough to Toko. How long did it take in all? Did they say?
He left at 8 p.m. on Wednesday evening.
He got there at 9:30 or something. So got
there. So it's over 24 hours.
25 hours.
Wow.
24 and a half, 25 hours. That's amazing, yeah, that your body could just continue. Like that. That's just astounding.
He has a good rhythm, though. He has a nice measured rhythm. He didn't try to splash around too much.
Well, you have 24 hours to swim. You ain't going to kill out yourself,
Yeah.
That's what I'll be thinking in my head.
I'm not even sure if I could do 2 to 4 minutes.
Well, we're talking about swimming here, right?
Well,
I knew that was coming.
In everything, I kind of do it quickly, and get it over and done with.
All right. Get it over and done with.
Yeah.
And of course, Cal.
Oh, yeah.
Off-duty pilot stage protest action yesterday at the airport.
I did not know they were under 6-month contract.
I have one person who I know well as a Kyle pilot. So I message him. I say, am I disturbing your strike? Yeah, no boy, I'm not out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
Well, to their credit, they organized it in a way that it didn't disrupt any flights.
Yeah, it was just silent.
They were all off duty and they made their point without disrupting because they're essential workers, so they can't strike anyway.
So it was a protest, not a strike.
It was a protest. They can't strike.
Silent protest, pretty much.
Yeah.
I did try to call Captain Larry Topher, Captain with Cal, my good friend. I didn't get him.
So much for being a good friend.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I remember when Larry. Let me tell you.
Actually at home. He said he was home, but he wasn't part of the strike. But he can't be ready, if you know what I mean. If
they
you understand
can't
his
strike.
other role.
It wasn't a strike.
Well, the protest, part of the protest. Sorry, my bad. He said he couldn't be, and for obvious reasons.
So that's the swim is the good news this morning. The bad news is that there's a body that's been discovered in central Trinidad.
Oh gosh, don't say.
I won't say because it has not yet been identified.
Okay.
But the suspicion is that yes.
Oh, no.
I won't say anything because the family is yet to ID or anybody's yet to ID the body. Let me put it that way. You know, of course,
No, you could give us a hint as to which one.
But
Which one of these people?
The only
kidnapped
person,
victim?
the only official kidnapped victim so far is Sasha
Lord.
Kunjunbari. Kunjbihari, sorry. So he's been missing since the 25th of September. That is now 9 days from now.
But wasn't there a report that the ransom was paid?
The ransom, a $500,000 ransom was paid, according to reports.
Wow.
And he was not released on the day when the ransom was paid, as was previously arranged. So, I mean, and the longer people go without being found, you know, the more challenging it is to, you know. His mother made a plea yesterday. His mother, Lincia Hans Razana, made a plea, excuse me, for those responsible to release his son safely. So we'll see what happens later on today.
Was this is the same alleged kidnapping that involved a marked police car where police officers have been detained?
Yep, where police officers are assisting the Professional Standards Bureau in connection with the investigation.
That's crazy, yeah?
Yeah, well,
that's beyond crazy.
You know, and as I said yesterday, I'll say again, I don't think the Professional Standards Bureau should be an internal organization. Let me put it that way. It should be an organization within the bowels of the police service.
Let me put it on my way too. At one time, I had real confidence in the Professional Standards Bureau.
You and I had several fights about that.
Yes, I know. I know. I had real confidence.
And every time you raise the confidence, I strips.
But I don't.
And it's not that I don't know that they don't do good work. In principle, himself cannot investigate himself when himself is batch of himself, and himself know this himself, and himself is godfather of himself, children, and all kind of thing. Okay?
Yeah.
It's not a good governance practice.
Is Ms. Suzette, DCP Suzette Martin, still the head of PSB?
No. Remember, she's now DCP Operations and Intelligence.
Okay. So who's the head of PSB now?
I don't know.
They haven't announced.
It don't make a difference.
Because she was the head of that unit for years, eh?
So I don't agree in the principle of police investigating themselves. And yes, there's the Police Complaints Authority, but they have so many challenges in getting information very often.
Yeah.
Although Mr. West tries to be diplomatic, but you can see the frustration in his face very often. Speaking of Mr. West and the PCA, their report on domestic violence came out, including issues related to police officers who are, the report cited 18 reports of domestic violence, including against 10 police officers, among them retired officers, and the case involving a member of the Special Reserve Police. It is not a good report. It's not a pretty report. It doesn't paint the police in a positive light at all in terms of their approach in some instances to dealing with instances of violence. That case came to light recently. Isaac, which had a precedent-setting judgment from the High Court, and the Attorney General said that the state is not appealing it, where judiciary was slammed, the police was slammed, you understand, for the way they managed that case, and the woman eventually died at the hands of a long-time abusive boyfriend. She did all she's supposed to do. And her man, Tot Lamkin, took action against the state for breach of constitutional responsibility. I think sections 3 and 4 or 4 and 5 of the Constitution were breached, and the judge upheld. Good morning, Ragoobarsingh. Yes, and this now then you're seeing this now, and the report speaks of cases where. Anyway, good morning, Ragoobarsingh.
Hi, good morning, guys, and good morning to our listeners and viewers wherever they are.
Morning, Rich.
Morning, Perry.
Where's this Perry thing?
Every time I call him and say good morning, Perry, you ask, what's this, Perry?
Do you know?
I ain't keeping track.
Yeah. Be close enough that I could call him Perry. Right? Are you okay with that? You're going to tote on that, right?
There are too many other things to toot on. I can leave that alone. Yeah, a plethora of things that can be tooted on. I don't want to mispronounce at all. Tooted on. I see the election fever is moving. The PNM has now chosen 14 of its 41 constituencies. The party screened 6 additional nominees for 6 additional constituencies on Tuesday. Now, Anil Ramjit Tabakit, Roshan Ramcharan Kuva South, Brent Maraj Kuva North, Winston Mahabir Shagonas West, Adam Hussein Karni Central, Beatrice Bridgelal Mayaru, and of course, before that, they would have announced Vice President of the Senate Mohammed Yunus Ibrahim for Samwa Barataria, Senator Renuka Sagram Singh Suklal St. Augustine, and Senator Richie Sukai Shagwanas East. So,
Okay.
which one are you screening for, Wendell?
Absolutely none. I've agreed. I've agreed once Minister Scotland goes back as the candidate to manage his campaign. I've already
They're in
told
the
him.
campaign, they're a safe seat. We campaigning there for.
Yeah, but it's right. So that's what I say. It's a seat
You mean,
that I
you mean
know.
you're going through the motion?
No, but hear what? I generally campaign in all the seats, because Ruanson and others call me and say, Wendell, jump on that truck, you go up and down the East corridor, and not, and so and so. And that's what I do. I do. Once the PNM call on me, I go and I work. They don't give me one set. I might get a bottle of water if I'm lucky, but on a truck, whole day talking.
Is Keith going back up or you don't know?
Who's that?
They just make Keith a minister and Keith ain't going back up?
I think he will. I think he will.
Yeah,
He does a pretty good job as an MP, also.
I could bet a double he's going back up.
Yeah.
You go ask that, but Richard, come on. That's a safe seat.
So it
Get rock
I would
back
say
in.
it's generally a safe seat.
Well,
I'll
he's a senior counsel. He's a senior counsel now, so it may be more profitable not to.
True.
True.
It was profitable when he didn't take.
I don't know. I don't know that he had to be there for the law firm to continue.
True. Because if you know hands-on attorneys, they never stop. They never.
I don't know. I don't know that he can't tell somebody. Let me see that brief name. Nah, I ain't like how you're handling that. Do it over. It is spare time. When he's not MPing or ministering. Okay, I don't know that the law chambers will stop functioning because he's ascended to the ministerial position, sir. Particularly as his name bears the distinction of being senior counsel. I don't know that any people, I mean, they might have to divest their shares as people want to do, in principle.
Yeah,
in principle,
you're supposed to.
You're supposed to, in principle. But if one of the juniors come and say, senior, I get in some trouble with this. How do you think I should handle this? I don't know if he's going to say, I can't touch that. I'm a minister now. I can't advise you. I'm a minister now. Come on. Let's not be facetious here this morning. Shall we open the phone lines before I get
But before you do that, there's a letter circulating. I don't know how true it is.
Before you do that.
It's dated October 3rd, and it's addressed to chairmen and councillors. And it's from the PRO of the United National Congress, Kirk Magoo. I can't authenticate this letter, people, but I'm going to give you a sense of what it says. I hope this message finds you well. I am writing to remind you of the important event taking place tomorrow, which is today, as our leader of the opposition delivers her budget response at 10 a.m.
today.
It is essential for all councillors and corporation workers to be present in front of the Red House. Now, that's standard thing, support tomorrow morning to demonstrate our solidarity and support for our leadership. This has happened countless times before. Nothing new there. As many of you know, our jobs and positions have been secured through the dedication and vision of our leader of the opposition. Your presence at this event will not only showcase our unity, but also reaffirm that our leader is the most popular leader in the country. Nothing wrong with that paragraph either. Third paragraph. Please treat this letter with the utmost confidentiality. Well, that gone through the door. We ask that you refrain from sharing its contents on social media or any other platforms to maintain the integrity of our preparations for tomorrow. Also, if the media asks you if you were forced to gather, please say no. I really do believe somebody write that. Please also refrain from consuming alcohol in front of the Red House. You can't stop people from drinking on the public road. Thank you.
The police can stop them from drinking
I guess.
As a matter of public order.
All right. Thank you for your cooperation, and I look forward to seeing each of you there. Best regards, Kirk. We have a number for Kirk Megu to authenticate this letter. Because if he writing a letter, nothing wrong with telling people to gather and about your leaders showing support. All of that, nothing wrong with that. But why would you put please also refrain? Well, if the media asks you, if you were forced to gather, say no. And please also refrain from consuming
are they being
alcohol.
forced to gather or encouraged to gather?
They're being encouraged.
Exactly. So what's the problem?
So I don't understand why if the media asks you that, why you would say no.
Because
maybe the encouraged is to be interpreted in a nuanced manner.
In a nuanced way. They didn't say nobody forced them. They say and they encouraged them to come out. So what is the big deal with the letter?
Well, there's a very viral video years ago of a UNC group gathering, and half of them didn't know what they were there for. You remember that video?
I remember that.
They were there to be there.
They didn't know what the debate was that was going on in Parliament. Yeah, they didn't know.
But why he need to tell them refrain from consuming alcohol in front of the Red House?
As a matter of caution, so that it maintains law and order. What's wrong with that?
I wasn't putting that in a letter, though.
Well, you might be a little more discreet in your goings ons.
But that is a letter purportedly coming from the PRO of the UNs. I don't know how true it is.
Good morning, everyone.
I suppose you could say no, just like you could say no unnecessary whining and dancing. Hey, that's a good guy. So for next year, no unnecessary whining.
We had calypsos along those lines.
By the mighty Perry.
No unnecessary whining allowed.
By the mighty Perry.
Only
Let me say a
necessary.
special good morning to former Minister Verna St. Rose Graves. Morning, Verna. Auntie Verna.
Morning.
Auntie V.
Morning, Auntie Verna.
All right. Well, let's grab some of these calls coming through. 222-8255. You know the numbers. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Oh,
Good
Paul.
morning.
Paul.
Good morning.
Paul. Yeah, more. You were so touchy yesterday. Yeah, and said me today.
It's very cloudy. Blanket.
Oh, sorry.
Listen to me, you, Mr. Wendell. You didn't give me my pips the other morning, eh? When I sent you something, you praise and say, you know, Richard have a hand in it. You didn't.
Yeah, but we discussed that. When you sent that to me, Zina, we have long discussed that on the radio, you know.
Don't try that.
I'm telling you, we did. Richard, she is speaking about the Wi-Fi in Arima.
You
we did.
We had already discussed it.
When? Before you announced it the other morning, when you read and you gave Richard his pips and say Richard had a hand in it along.
Yeah, but you sent that to me after that.
No. You do not at all.
Well, okay. I'm
sent
telling you.
The day before.
Are you ready for people care about that this morning?
Well, I don't know why Zina raised it.
I raised it because he talked. He said it as
you are nothing better to raise this every morning. You have so much things you could be raising. You're raising it.
Well, I am feel to bash the government this morning. I feel to bash
the government to say you could raise. I have something you could raise. Strong has something you could raise. You have to raise nothing, so you could raise something productive.
So the next time I would leave it and let him maybe read it and discuss it from somewhere else. Because
Oyes called me a tutor. She tutored that since Monday.
But she and you is the same thing.
Who?
Both of it is the same thing.
You dragging that load since Monday?
Right.
That God.
You're confused.
Anyhow, All right. Okay. Later.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you.
I'm a little confused about what went on there. I'm not sure what
Volume
you
one.
She just
Next
felt
call. Morning.
Zena is of the opinion that I should have given her
Good
credit for
morning,
sending it
caller.
to me. But I get that from
Good
Good
2,000
morning,
people
caller.
already.
Too many people
Good
talking.
morning,
Go ahead.
gentlemen. Dr. Richards, you always sarcastically ask me what is my problem with the police service, and
I
I've
didn't
said
ask
this
you
to
that
a
at
million
all.
times.
I never asked you what
Police
is your. I have
service
never asked you what is your
has
problem with the
the
police
potential
service. I've
to
never asked
change
you
your
that.
life. And you read an article yesterday that validates everything that I have been saying, and Richard and Wendell has supported me with what I've been saying. You read a damning article yesterday of a judgment that a magistrate made
Mm-hmm.
from a 2016 incident, if I recall correctly. And then there was a situation involving some police officers from Shishogona's police station. I hope you all recognize why I am so cautious, but you want to use that word, when the situation and circumstances involving police are concerned. Why I advocate so much for police, for transparency with police. Why I advocate for body cameras. These two incidents of yesterday alone, you all should never ask me a question when I question police again. In this country. Okay?
Mhm.
I
Hello?
frightened her. You say, okay.
All right. Thanks, Bob.
Lincoln, thanks.
All right,
Duly
Lincoln.
noted. Duly noted.
Yeah, we won't ask
Duly
anything
noted.
again.
Duly noted. Yeah.
Is there a response you're looking for this morning?
I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Next call, please.
But we have some people on this show, eh? I
No,
tell
he's
you.
just saying that it validates his criticism of the police and their
But we've never
overreach.
I've never invalidated Lincoln's criticism of the police. As a matter of fact, a lot of time he's spot on.
Yeah. So he's just saying that kind of judgment. I
It
think
just sounds like he toting sometimes. That's all.
no, I think basically what he's basically saying is that kind of judgment just validates his concerns of the TTPS in its current structure, I guess.
Yeah.
Validates it.
Yeah.
The kind
All
of
right,
overreach
we have
and
another
abuse of
call.
powers that they use.
Anon, remove that comment, please. Come on. Don't do our program that now. Remove your comment. Or
You
Paul,
should
remove
know
it,
better.
please.
Good morning, caller.
We could do without comments like that.
Morning, Dr. Paul, Wendell.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yes, to tell you all to have a pleasant day and a wonderful weekend and keep up the good work. And may God continue to bless you. I'm not going to say all these things. I think you all do a far excellent job.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Sentiment.
You all touched on
Thank you,
Okay.
caller.
Thank you, caller. You all touched on the issue with the pilots, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We showed a video actually too.
Of them protesting.
Yes.
Yeah. So that
You need
yesterday.
to
So
start coming on for 6, you know. Yeah, there's no reason why you can't come on for 6.
there's a very valid reason why I don't have to come on at 6.
I know why you don't have to, but you should.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, guys. Oh,
Good
gosh.
morning.
I get on the garbage truck coming. Let me move. Good.
Okay.
You all
So you're in
know-
the road?
Yes, the dogs is back a lot when the garbage truck coming down the street. So I wouldn't be able to hear.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I moved. You all never told me that last night I went to the airport. I didn't know that you don't pay in the booth to exit when you come in, you get in.
No.
Hold on. Let me hear.
I had to go back, and well, thank God is my son. He went. Yeah. So wait, those women or whoever used to be in those booths, they may have a job again. So
Long time that done, Miss Henry.
Diego Martin, it's been like that for years.
Grace Pino.
For the
You're
longest.
paying inside the airport. They have a kiosk.
Yes.
Yeah, they have like
I had to
machines.
turn around. Well, good thing my son run out the car. He went and
So I don't understand this, man. But they should let you know because
But they have let you know.
They have. It's been like that for years.
oh my goodness, well, boy, because drop
Cheetah, do you know
off,
what I didn't know either?
we
No,
doing
Paul,
it.
don't give me that.
No,
Anyway,
I
you
don't.
Don't
are
try
dropped
that,
off.
Paul.
You are
Don't
dropped off at
test
the airport.
scan. Anyway,
Yeah,
I
special
normally,
parking.
the drop off, they
That
be
too.
easy. We do it like the Americans. You drop off, buy, you hug, you jump, and you go in your car and you bus it. But going to pick up JetBlue, you know how I say, Lord, me able, and who park? I not doing that. I say nighttime. Normally, I will go in the little go in Trin City Mall, hang around. When you reach customs, call me, and then I drive up. But
There is
I
also, if you pass the roundabout to get to the airport, and you
Yes.
make that 90-degree right turn, and you have the Piarco police station, there is a waiting parking lot with security.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, boy, I haven't done it in years. So, and Richard,
Ellie.
I saw what you be talking about. That roundabout by Piarco is so dark, man. All you put a brighter light, Minister of Public Utilities. Come on. You know, I just feel it. I live here. But you know what? I just say, how foreigners this make out here with these, you could barely see. They should have they have one little sign in Piarco. Put something big so you will get in your section, you go in the right lane, so you angle yourself to turn. Oh my goodness, man.
All right,
Listen,
thanks, Diego.
please.
I was
So,
joke for you. You
that.
all see the release from PTSD yesterday?
You too.
Did you all see
Yes,
the release from
release.
PTSD?
About what?
No.
PTSD
Regarding what?
said they're modernizing. Passengers will now have the benefit of real-time posts on social media to tell you when your bus leave.
So you had to go social media for it?
This is not the same PTSD we tell you we get on an app 2 years ago.
I think more than 2 years ago. More than
This
2
is
years
the same
ago.
Yeah, it's
PTSD
more than
still
2 years,
building an app from 2 years ago. Now the big grand announcement. We're modernizing more reliability for customers, except public holidays. That you're going to get this app, this notice on social media. So you have to go on social media to say the bus leaves Handy Grandy at 9:36.
Oh, yeah, go on social media.
So what use is the bus leaving Handy Grandy at 9:36 as information for me if the bus stuck in traffic and I don't know when it reaching Port of Spain or Barataria or Samoa? PTSD.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know why PTSD is so backward, eh?
Yeah.
It's poor management, Paul. It is complete. And somebody would have sit down in a meeting, a manager's meeting. You know what? Let's do this and put it on social media.
Real-time
And everybody
updates on
goes,
social
yeah.
media. Big announcement, eh? Not an app up and running, and you could get it on the app, you know. You had to go to Facebook and Instagram and TikTok to see the bus leave Arima at 9:32.
But getting back to the airport and Wendell and Paul Wendell and Paul I think travel more than Steve. Wasn't there a point at which those car parks, when you drive into the car park, there used to be a sign that used to say 3 more parking spots or 2 parking spots available and stuff like that?
yeah, or car park full, or go to the left or the right.
Because they had sensors. They had sensors that would register that a car is parked. And then rather than you having to drive up and down the lanes, you could just look and you would see 2 park spots available or none. Then they have a system like that?
Yes.
Whatever happened to it? It just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
No idea.
I also think they could have you pay at the exit too with your credit card using the same system of flashing of scanning your parking pass, and the figure comes up and you could pay at that point with your credit card.
I thought about that one time, you know. Why don't I have you say instead of having an atrium, have the 2 or 3 at the exit?
Yeah, I don't know, because in most big car parks abroad in the airports, you have those machines in the car parks themselves. Eh?
I thought you shouldn't be paying at all for that rundown car park.
That car park rundown. Oh,
it should be free. It's so rundown, it should be free. How can that big hole and grass green all over the place?
It is absolutely deplorable. Big pothole at the
So
end.
you have papers.
It's not
Absolutely,
very-
I do have papers, and I will start with the Newsday for today. And of course, just in case you did not know the date for today, it is Friday, October 4th, 2024. As we head towards the weekend begins tonight.
Is Hector Kirkmegu?
I don't know.
Okay.
Richard, the weekend
No, but he's
began
right
today.
because when you're reading, I thought about it. That
No,
actually,
I said from the beginning that I cannot authenticate this letter. if we
and that's
could
my
get-
point. Because you could not authenticate it, you
I
shouldn't
said
have read
it.
it.
I said it.
So you could have been reading
Because
misinformation.
it's all over social media.
That don't mean that don't mean that is accurate.
Hold on.
Can
Is
I-
anything
can I-
wrong with the letter? Did I say
No.
anything wrong with the letter?
Can I authenticate the news? Because I actually have them. And
You want to play
what I
UNC
can-
lawyer, you and Hector for me this morning, not me, no?
That's your go-to. Once you get challenged, is a UNC. Once
No,
somebody challenge you,
because
is a
you said
UNC.
nothing at the time.
That is you.
You didn't stop me, but you're going and defending Hector now.
You understand?
And,
Once somebody challenges, is a UNC. Okay.
Eh?
what I can also authenticate in the Newsday today is on page 11. They're advertising a wonderful play called That's Extravagant News, which will be on this weekend, which will distress you because of the laughter, and it apparently two of my co-hosts be distressing. So
Headline.
you can be distressed at Zappa this weekend.
There you go. Game 2 ticket. Game 2 ticket, Richard, on my behalf. I'll pay for it. Let him go.
On Saturday, 8:30 and Sunday, 6:30. Box office at Zappa opens from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. But let me get to the headlines. The front page of the Newsday today. Businessman's mother begs kidnappers, give me back my son.
VIP pass.
Businessman's mother begs kidnappers, give me back my son. Pilots grounded, that's the main picture. Caribbean Airlines photo. So there's a Caribbean Airlines pilots who are members of the TT Airlines Pilots Association staged a placard protest in Piarco International Airport on Thursday to highlight several issues.
Richard, where is he playing this weekend?
San Fernando.
San
Zappa.
Fernando? Okay.
In San Fernando, yeah.
Could you put two tickets on my name for Paul Richards and get a valet parking when he comes down there? Somebody waiting on him when he pulls up to take his vehicle to park and bring it back for him when he's done. Could you ensure that, please? I'll pay for everything.
Sure.
That'll be $1,000. Go ahead, Richard.
So-
Headline.
so there's a line of pilots, very disciplined line, and all holding up signs, which you would have seen on social media. Woman dies hours after son and nephew gunned down. Isn't that a tragic story? Woman dies hours after son and nephew gunned down. And on the back page, Prokop said to be first to swim from Tobago to Trinidad. John's brazen swim.
Oh, you're so
He
easy to run in this chat. Eh?
Did he complete it? He completed it, didn't he?
He completed it.
Yes, we did. We spoke
Yeah.
about it.
West Indies women begin T20 World Cup against South Africa. Moving on to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for today. Baby badly beaten is the headline. Grandfather wants answers from Children's Authority.
I couldn't finish.
Carol pilot stage silent protest at Piarco. And one of the main signs you're seeing up, 20% salary cut offered to pilots. And, Cal pilots delivered during difficult times. And so pilots attached to Trinidad and Tobago Airlines Pilot Association at the Piarco International Airport yesterday. There were quite a lot of them. You didn't think there were so many pilots.
Yeah,
did you?
a lot. And they were all off duty, yeah?
Yeah. Woman 63 dies in house fire. That's also on the front page of The Guardian today. On the back page, West Indies women start T20 title quest. That's the main story on the back page of The Guardian. Moving on to the Daily Express this morning. What headline did the Daily Express go with? I'm about to tell you. Child abuse horror. Police detained 3 after babies beaten, stomped on. That's a crazy story. Cal pilots protest. When the pilots protest made all of the national newspapers, all 3 dailies have them and the pictures of them. Trini jeweler robbed of $1 million in St. Lucia. And on the back page of the Daily Express, response to TKR debacle, unpredictable nature of sport, and Kishon's Golden League. Also, the Express is back to putting sports on the back page, apparently. Yeah, and they've,
All right. You finish up
so
there?
that's 3 dailies this morning.
All right. I'm unable to get the poll this morning for some odd reason, but the results of the poll for some odd reason. So we'll get into this morning's poll. Don't forget to send the
invite. The poll or the results of the poll?
Results of the poll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You don't know what's going on here. All right. Let's get into this morning's poll question, gentlemen.
Should Wendell sponsor Paul's 2 tickets to relieve his stress?
Somewhere in this chat so easy to write, let me tell you. It's so easy to start all here. That's some of them should be working in Ministry of Communication.
I just glimpse at that
The
chat now.
response is so predictable, let me tell you.
That chat goes stress me, no?
On both sides, you understand? All right, let me see if I can find a poll this morning for you. Somebody who have a problem with the poll too just now. Watch and see.
I hear you talking the other morning about people.
We should do a PTSD question. Does PTSD know what they're doing?
That's not a bad poll at all.
But I see they're starting to put up new bus stops. Have you seen that?
Homeless shelters? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Some of them, they've started to improve them.
How long
We're talking about Arpit Avenue.
Yes. No, those are not Arpit Avenue. These are different projects.
You all always complaining about the poll. You always send a poll in the chat.
I just said
the poll, Jambi, send a poll.
So what are you talking about, Wendell? Which new bus stops?
No, they have some new ones. I saw some. I can't.
We should do the PTSD pool. Does PTSD really know what they're doing?
I think along the bus route too, they've started to change a couple of them.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice.
Yeah, those on the avenue, that is the Unicode project. That has nothing to do with PTSD.
Oh Lord! Should Wendell have read the letter?
You actually read that agent provocateur who comes on every morning. That UNC.
The avenue are quite nice actually. They have a little bit of LED lighting in it, and you know.
Yeah, it's nice. They're nice.
They're not bad. They're not bad. I don't know what's going on with the lights on the avenue though, because there was a night I was there and all the lights were off. The solar lights that they have.
Yeah.
So I don't know if somebody has an on switch and an off switch, or if it is that they all were depleted because they're solar. Yeah. So I didn't know if they were all depleted, but I found it strange that they would all be depleted. So in my mind, there is somebody that turns on a switch and turns off a switch, which may not be accurate.
Well, which can make sense if they're solar lights.
Yeah, but they were all off. And I was like, how could they all be all off at the same time, you know?
Afraid to publish poll because somebody goes to this poll is designed to create a narrative.
Put it up now. It's Friday. Put it up now.
Do you think PTSD is providing an effective public transport service?
That's a good poll.
That's a good poll. I still like the fact
that designed to create a narrative, you know.
Hector, yeah,
so
UNC.
Let me tell you something. The need to get
Hector. I don't care what you say.
The need to get PTSD and Citygate in a gear. And Richard is right when we asked Minister Manning on Tuesday that more people pass through Citygate than at Piarco. All right, that's our poll. Do you think PTSD is providing an effective public transport service? Yes or no? 222-8255, toll free North Americans, 866-525-1099, on WhatsApp at 318-1021, on Facebook, on YouTube. Yeah, you can send us a message and let us know. Let's check to see. Do you think PTSD is providing an effective public transport service? Yes or no? All right.
Is Mr. Gooden still in charge of PTSC?
No idea. No, I don't think so.
Hmm.
I don't know who's the new chairman.
Is anybody in charge of PTSC?
A primary school student could run PTSC better than
You're getting new social media updates, and when your bus leaving, rejoice.
Yeah.
So our poll this morning, do you think PTSC is providing an effective public transport service? 222-TALK, 222-8255, North Americans, 866-525-1099. Yes, North Americans, you can weigh in on the poll too.
All right, Cheryl Henry
318-1021.
Cheryl Henry says yes. I think that is what you said.
Cheryl, that's a very good question.
Yeah,
Winston says no. Hector laughed. John Keto says no. Michael Gradison says in bold, no. Gloria Gray says no. Rena Boodoo Jennings says no.
What is all this upset because Senshia is not the brand ambassador for Sunshine Snacks?
I have no idea. There's a big uproar about that. Keith Clark says, because she's not local, I guess.
And
Keith Clark says
they
no.
must be moving smart. To me, is a strategic brand positioning move. They probably want to get into
That's
Jamaica.
exactly what it is. That's all.
Plus, associated brands probably sell more of this product in Jamaica than anywhere.
Exactly, or want to increase the market share in Jamaica, which is a bigger population.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
That's strategic planning.
Yeah,
David Wares. Good morning, David Wares and Mrs.
Test
Wares.
and Mashes shouldn't get endorsement products in other countries then.
Mm-hmm.
David Wares says yes. CJ New York says absolutely no. DL, no. Anne Noel, no. Janelle Salvery, no. Antonio Butts, absolutely not. Kenny and Harlem, no. Beauty Culture, no. Cheryl Henry loves the pool. Michael Phillip says no. Cheryl Henry says no. David Wares, Cheryl says no. I know she was the smart one in the house. Morning, Cheryl. Could tell she's the smart one in the house. Michael Map says no. Okay, let's see what we got on WhatsApp. Southman says yes. David Nelson says no. Arifa Freya Lashley says no. Captain Ron, he should know, says no. Jaron Joseph, no. Val, good morning, Val. No.
Told us 2 years ago that they have the national transportation policy in trains being developed. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Let's grab this call. Good morning. Good morning, caller. Moving on. One more time. Good morning. Okay, they hung up before me. All right, let's see. What was the last one I had there, boy? Michael.
You see watch, Finbar. And that's the point I'm making. You waste down the topic of choice, then make a poll to ensure everyone agrees with you. It's right to you. It's right to you.
He says no. Yvette Pio says no.
Finbar, you're so predictable. I know that gets you out of your hole this morning.
What's this? And that is the point. Not too long to read, yes. Michael Robinson says no. What's that story about, Paul? I don't know which story, Cheryl. We have some calls. Let's grab them. Good morning.
Today's Friday. I wanted Paul's poll. Anyhow, I could take that on. So, no.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Sandy Grandino.
Thanks, Grandy. Good morning.
Good morning, Wendell. You can borrow your Ragoobarsingh.
Morning.
Morning.
I want to highlight one point.
No, we're doing the poll. We highlight after.
Port Lucas protested earlier. Right?
We know that. We spoke about
poll
that.
question, Mr. Patrick.
What is it?
Do you think PTSC is providing an effective public transport service?
No.
Thank you.
Be careful. The poll is creating a narrative.
The U.S. port workers, on the Eastern Seaboard, have suspended their strike until January. All right, so just so you know that. Good
But
morning.
he suspended the strike.
Morning, dear. Suffer the public. No.
No, thank you, Derry. All
See?
right. Let's see if I have a WhatsApp. Somebody in Canada says no.
I think the
All
port
the
workers,
PPSC executive
the
need to
port
do,
workers don't want to affect the presidential election.
clearly they don't.
That and I think the Christmas season coming up too.
No, but I think
Lorna.
after the presidential election is probably the bigger thing.
Yeah. Lorna. Morning, Lorna. Indy, Carly, no to the poll. Eddie out in Saturn Island says no. I've got Eve in Chicago saying no. I was there last evening. Eve, I look out for you, but I didn't see her. I asked people, if you see Eve? They said
Coming
no.
up after our 7 o'clock news, Laura Dowrich Phillip, live from Turks and Caicos.
All right. I have one person here. Who is this? Don't have a
Morning,
name.
Laura.
Says no. All right. Gentlemen, I want you to join me. Listen carefully. I would like you to join me in wishing Evie and Virgil happy anniversary.
Yay!
Happy, there she is. Isn't she lovely? Virgil needs an award, a national award.
An Order of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
Or
Oh boy,
road or
does he
plane name after.
indeed.
For national service.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alfred, you look
This should be-
absolutely beautiful.
That's a nice little outfit you have there, Evie.
Happy anniversary, Virgil and Avie.
You
That's
can
what
tell
I
you present already. You can tell she glowing.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah.
They should
I
Happy
didn't know that I
Happy
was.
anniversary.
Sorry?
Well, they should dedicate that newsroom to Virgil.
Yeah. Why you doing them that way?
Oh my goodness. All right, gentlemen, let's
But
get
thanks very much.
You're welcome, Avie.
let's get into our 7 o'clock major news with Avrils and Hillbab.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
Caribbean Airlines pilot stage protest at Piarco International Airport. While there is no official word yet from kidnapped victim Sachel Kunj Bahari, reports are that an unidentified body has been discovered in central Trinidad. A police complaints authority report into the police handling of domestic violence cases reveals some concerning information. And the grandfather of the baby, brutally beaten and later rescued by police from a Claxton Bay home, demands answers from the Children's Authority. Details in a moment. This is News to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Sintel-Bab. Good morning. Caribbean Airlines pilots staged a protest at Piarco International Airport yesterday, calling on government to settle outstanding wages. The off-duty Caribbean Airlines pilots, clad in their uniforms yesterday, staged a placard protest at Piarco International Airport as they called for a 4% salary increase. Approximately 40 pilots gathered in front of the airport on Golden Grove Road to express their frustration over unresolved negotiations, which they claim had been ongoing for 9 years. Trinidad and Tobago Airline Pilots Association President Jason Wickham said the union had agreed to the government's 4% wage offer and submitted its agreement to the Chief Personnel Officer, but they are yet to receive a response. Wickham added that for the last 9 years, TALPA has been negotiating in good faith with the management of Caribbean Airlines. He said yesterday the pilots had come out to express their dissatisfaction and displeasure with the current situation. He said their international counterparts are receiving double-digit salary increases. From as early as 7 a.m. yesterday, the pilots started their silent protest by walking through the main departure hall bearing placards. While there is no official word yet from kidnapped victim Sachin Kunj Bahari, reports are that an unidentified body has been discovered in central Trinidad. Investigators are in the process of trying to identify the body. 2 police officers are also still assisting detectives of the Professional Standards Bureau in connection with the investigations of the kidnapping of the foreign used car dealer. The two officers, including an acting police corporal and two constables, are stationed in the Central Police Division. Kunj Bihari was abducted on September 25th in Chaguanas by occupants of a marked police vehicle. 2 days later, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service issued a media statement in which it said that officers were actively pursuing all leads into an incident where individuals dressed in tactical uniforms intercepted a vehicle on Jerningham Railway Road, Chaguanas. It was reported that 3 occupants in a marked police vehicle detained a 32-year-old man and left the scene with him. Meanwhile, the mother of the Canupia businessman is pleading with those involved to return him alive to his family. 3 policemen are in custody assisting investigators with the case. A marked police vehicle has also been impounded. Lincia Hans Rana made a heartfelt appeal to those responsible for taking away her son, Sachin Kunj Bihari, a used car dealer. Kunj Bihari and 2 other men were traveling in a car when it was blocked by a marked police car with flashing blue lights along Jerningham Railway Road around 5 on September 25th. A police complaints authority report into the police handling of domestic violence cases, including involving members of the police service, has also stated that several women with complaints against their abusers were killed before their cases were handled or resolved. In its Domestic Violence Report 2024, the PCA cited reports of domestic violence among civilians against relatives and noted instances among all reports where the victims later refused to pursue legal action against their abusers for a number of reasons. The document, which was released yesterday, emerged from the PCA's ongoing tripartite series, Bits of Paper from Failure to Function, which included collaboration with non-governmental organizations and other stakeholders on domestic violence trends and treatment of the issue. Launched by the PCA in September 2019, the series focuses on the PCA's active oversight role of the conduct and functions of TTPS officers in policing reports of domestic violence. The report stated or cited 18 reports of domestic violence, including 10 against police officers, among them retired officers and a case involving a member of the Special Reserve Police. The PCA recommended that TTPS staff be trained on the treatment of this category of complaints and that it take steps to sensitize the TTPS on domestic violence. The PCA also agreed that there be an implementation of a domestic violence investigative and procedural manual for police officers in Trinidad and Tobago, and that there be active use of the National Domestic Violence Register. It noted, according to Section 21.2 of the Domestic Violence Act, Chapter 4556, the Commissioner of Police is to maintain this register. In several cases, the authority noted that it had agreed on increased and enhanced opportunities for officers to seek support for mental and emotional health problems. In a number of cases where domestic violence reports were made against a spouse, the victims also reported being afraid or ashamed to pursue the matter, or would return to the abuser as a result of various dependencies, including financial and emotional. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. The grandfather of the baby, who was brutally beaten and later rescued by police from a Claxton Bay home, is now demanding answers from the Children's Authority. He yesterday questioned why the child was removed from his care and sent to live with a relative on the Marabella train line, where she endured a vicious beating that left her with a broken rib, blue blackened eyes, cuts on her hand, and a scorch mark on her leg from an iron. 3 people are now in police custody, one of whom has said the baby was demon-possessed. In a statement last night, the Children's Authority said it is conducting joint investigations with the police into the incident involving the injuries sustained by the young child. The Children's Authority said it's investigating the matter into psychosocial, it's investigating the matter as a psychosocial, which the police are conducting a criminal investigation into allegations of child abuse and maltreatment. The authority confirmed the child was removed because of her safety and the fact that it was jeopardized. The People's National Movement has now chosen candidates for 14 of the 41 constituencies as it moves closer to completing its full slate of the 2025 general election. The party screened nominees for 6 constituencies on October 2nd as it continues to ready itself for the election. These are in addition to the 8 constituencies for which prospective PNM candidates have already been selected. In August, the PNM suggested it was seeking candidates to fill the UNC-held constituencies first. And John Prokop became became the first man to successfully swim from Tobago to Trinidad in a single effort from 9:30 p.m. on October 3rd. The resilient swimmer began his long inter-island journey from the port in Scarborough, Tobago after 8 p.m. on October 2nd. Prokop never left the water since getting into it, and unlike other swimmers who have attempted the grueling feat, Prokop never once held on to or touched his support boats for assistance while swimming, staying afloat, or resting in the water. Reports indicate he reached his destination in Toco, Trinidad around 9:30 p.m. on October 3rd, an estimated total of over 25 hours. Prokop was provided with an ample supply of drinking water, coconut water, Lucozade, Ensure, and bananas for potassium from the support boats. Well, finally, here is weather news for the period today till midnight. Trinidad and Tobago, generally sunny conditions interrupted by a few partly cloudy periods with showers. There's a medium chance of the isolated heavy shower or thunderstorm activity favoring, but not confined to, northern, central, and eastern areas mainly during the afternoon. Nighttime will be mostly fair. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding can occur in the event of heavy showers or thunderstorms. Look out for a forecast maximum temperature of 34 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and 33 degrees Celsius at Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, it is 26 degrees Celsius at Piarco and 25 at Crown Point. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock, Caribbean Airlines pilots stage protest at Piarco International Airport. While there is no official word yet from kidnapped victim Satchel Kunjbehari, reports are that an unidentified body has been discovered in central Trinidad. A police complaints authority report into the police handling of domestic violence cases reveals concerning information. And the grandfather of the baby, brutally beaten and later rescued by police from a Claxton Bay home, demands answers from the Children's Authority. I'm Avril Sintel-Bab. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. There is more news coming up in detail at 12 noon and an update coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to
Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you and Virgil and Zahara. Happy anniversary. Somebody got a problem with that in the chat just now. Watch and see. I could sing Mary have a little lamb. They got problems in the chat. Have a wonderful day, Avril.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that tremendously.
I think I will.
And
buy you and Virgil lunch, you know,
for the anniversary gift. Thank you,
I'll
Paul.
buy you and Virgil lunch, but you all
Thank
will both put it away for Zahara to eat. So it makes no sense.
Doesn't matter.
You can buy whatever for Avril. She take a little bite and say, I'm putting for Zahara, her daughter. So no matter what, is I don't know, something.
It doesn't matter. The point
I say, you
is,
know, if you eat what I bought for you
love.
for lunch, she wouldn't starve, right? No, but she might not.
Well, you all have something else to do.
Oh, yeah.
Have a wonderful anniversary, darling.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All right. Thank you so much, anniversary lady. A.V. Sinhill Bab, thank you so much. Good join her again. Come 8 o'clock for our news brief. All right. Quickly, let's see what's happening in the highways.
Right, and then she left me.
Huh?
I gave her that name, A.V., you know. A.V. sent him. And then she left for another radio station. Ungrateful.
Ungrateful. Man, that sums up A.V. Traffic, where you think you're going to get it, you will get it. Let's see if we have any more. PTSD chairman is Brian James. Okay. Chris J says no. Anthony in Toronto says happy anniversary, AVA and Virgil. New Hampshire says no. Right, that's what I got.
Come on, you give me results. People have a video I want to play.
That's not joke.
Just give across that will warm your hearts.
And
then we talk to Laura Dorich Phillip.
Right. Miss Royalty Forever says no. Mrs. R says no. Andre says no. Beauty Toad Look says no. Lester Craigwell voting no. Marcia Rock says no. Joe Sam says no. Ray.
Laura, honest, do they give me?
Johnston Noel says no. Right. That's all the votes that I've got at this time. Of course, our poll question will stay up on our mobile app and website until Monday morning, give you the final results.
Right, so our poll this morning, do you think PTSC is providing an effective public transport service? We had 47 people voting on the poll in the allotted time. Of the 47 people, 44 of you said no. You do not think that PTSC is providing an effective public transport system. And 3 of you said yes. You do think they are providing an effective public transport system. So, of course, the nays have it by a far majority this morning. So, of course, if our poll is a microcosm of
No, it's not.
national,
We'll tarnish the poll.
if our poll is a microcosm
Paul
of
didn't talk.
national
The
sentiment.
PTSD is
Can
providing
I
a
finish
good
making
service. I
my
apologize
sentence
for
before you
tarnishing the
interrupt me,
poll.
please? Only interrupting. Let me finish and I will say end of poll.
Sorry for tarnishing the poll. All right, I'm going to share a video that I just came across on social media that, you know, and when I get these videos, I really like to share them. Very often we see videos of good morning, Laura Dorridge. Sorry about that.
Morning.
Of
Morning,
police
Laura.
officers not doing the right thing. And I came across this video this morning of an officer who clearly was stationed in front of the Red House, I believe, at the start of the budget presentation where there were some protesters gathering. And she's in the video talking to a gentleman who seems to be maybe part of the protest. And the way she interfaced with this gentleman warmed my heart, and other officers should take note. Let's share the video.
All right, let's see.
And let me tell you, they should give this woman a raise.
Give her a national award.
That was Dude Not Me, so he's chairman
I
of
don't know who it is, but I just look at how she interacts with him.
Hit play. Let's see.
You have the microphone in your hand, right? Can you please that people are up with me, please? Still up. Don't block the entrance. Right, but what I do is occasionally, can you please say, right? Please, peaceful, right? Nice it. Look how nice we do it now, and you're good all the time.
That's how it should be.
You have the microphone in your hand, right? Can you please that people are up with me, please? Still up. Don't block the entrance. Right, but what I do is occasionally, can you please say, right? Please, peaceful, right? Nice it. Look how nice we do it now, and you're good all the time.
Send that lady to the barracks to be a
Wasn't that
senior
wonderful?
instructor.
Well, even more important was the response from the person who she was speaking to.
But the response was because of the way she approached
Because of
him.
the police woman.
Yeah.
Because of the way she approached him. He became cooperative and everything ended up how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Maybe she said, move from there. You can't stand up there. But she was just brilliant.
Yeah.
I think she needs to be commended.
Well, to be fair to the TTPS, I mean, in my interactions with them, and they stop you in road stops and stuff, they've always been very courteous.
And as I tell Wendell often, that has been my experience also. But some people have different experiences.
I have had both. I have had both experiences.
But I just thought it was important to share that side of it also.
Yeah. Even when they stopped Richard and I the day when he knew he was wrong, what he was doing, he was pleasant still. You know, he wasn't aggressive. Even though he wasn't. Even though he gave me a bad ticket, he was still pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're polite and smiling and saying, here's your $1,000 ticket.
Good morning, Laura.
Good morning. Good morning, Paul. Good morning to everyone.
Morning,
Laura.
Laura. How is that wonderful island of Turks and Caicos?
It is beautiful. It is hot. But I just want to say that police officer is my friend Zakia, and she's an awesome person.
Really?
Yes.
She's naturally a good person.
We'll give her a call.
She is.
That's what I thought. She has to be naturally a nice person.
She is very nice.
Laura is the public relations manager of Experienced Turks and Caicos. Laura was what were you at
Loop?
Loop
I
before?
was the lifestyle and cultural affairs manager.
No, I posted this on social media already, and there's news and there's entertainment news in Toronto, and I think Laura Dowridge Phillip has because of the work she'd done over the years, revolutionized and in a lot of ways to me legitimized entertainment news coverage in Trinidad and Tobago. And for that, I think she must be commended.
Thank
Right,
you,
Laura?
Paul. Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
So she took a leap of faith a year ago, and she decided after how many years at Digital Loop?
I was at Loop 9 years, but I was in media total of 27 years. Started at the Trinidad Guardian. Yes.
Decided that she wanted to make a change. It got an offer and decided to go to Turks and Caicos to become the PR manager for Experienced Turks and Caicos. Was it a frightening move for you?
Extremely. Extremely. I mean, listen, journalism is my number one love. I loved it, loved it, loved it. It was my passion. I never thought I would do anything else. And just the idea of doing something completely different was scary. Leaving Trinidad was scary. My kids are still in Trinidad. Being here alone was scary. The first night I got here, I almost ran right back to the airport. I was like, what are you doing? This is insane. But yeah, it was scary. But you know, sometimes you just have to do it afraid, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
How is it different there to, of course, spending all your life in Trinidad and Tobago? What's it like there?
It's vastly different. Turks is obviously, it's a smaller country, smaller population. It's a pretty large archipelago, it's 40 islands and keys, but the only 8 islands are inhabited and the population is very small. So it's much quieter than Trinidad, something I actually wanted. I wanted quiet. Trinidad sometimes feels like a crazy carousel that you just need to jump off of sometimes and catch your breath. I felt I reached a point where I needed to catch my breath. So Turks is very, very quiet. There is no traffic. They complain about traffic. I'm like, guys, this is not traffic. You'll see. I can reach to work and not hear a whole song. So there's no traffic.
I'm curious, Mrs. Phillips, how do you get to the Turks and Caicos from here?
The best route is through Miami. There's no direct flight. I keep watching Carl launch all these direct flights, and I'm like, when are you coming to Turks? There are no direct flights. So you can go through Miami, or you can go through, you can take the long route and go through fly Inter-Caribbean, a combination of Inter-Caribbean and Carl through the islands.
Okay. So you don't necessarily, because through Miami, you have to have a US visa.
Yes.
Okay.
But you could always like probably fly to the Bahamas and then take a flight from Bahamas to here, or you could fly to Antigua or Jamaica and then take a flight across.
Okay. What's the population there?
It's about just under 50,000.
Wow.
So it's pretty
like
small.
a Rima.
Yeah, it's pretty small, very quiet. And let me tell you, I know, I mean, because I covered entertainment, I know how vibrant Trinidad is, but really and truly looking at Trinidad from here, man, I'm like, how the hell I used to do this? Trinidad just does not stop. It's constant. It's constant.
Never settles.
I don't even know if we appreciate how vibrant we really are.
Yeah. Now, Turks and Caicos is a pretty much a busy hub when it comes to cruise ships as well. How many passengers you say come on an annual basis into Turks and Caicos? Because I've been to Turks and Caicos through a cruise ship and went on a couple of cruises, and I loved it.
Well, on an annual basis, we do over 1 million cruise passengers. The cruise port is in Grand Turk. The cruise port is managed by Carnival Corporation, and we get Carnival ships. We get
Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean just started.
Is 1 million you're saying?
Yeah. And there's no cruise season. We get cruise ships all year long.
Yeah.
But again, its location is pivotal in that.
Yeah. It's just pretty. It's safe. The cruise port is really nice. It's a big cruise center, really nice. There are stores and shops and bars and stuff. You know.
But we wanted you on because I mean you've lived in Trinidad and Tobago all your life. You've promoted the culture and the beautiful aspects of Trinidad and Tobago, and it's a good comparison. I think you're in a position now to make between what Turks and Caicos is doing and what we can do in Trinidad and Tobago. What do you think is the reason that they've been able to be so successful in attracting that level of cruise ship activity and also tourism in that jurisdiction? I mean, it's the totally different economies. We understand that, but what do you think they've done correctly?
So here's the thing: Turks and Caicos economy is completely dependent on tourism. That is the major thing compared to Trinidad. It is completely dependent on tourism. So there's no choice but to do it right. And also we have a niche. We don't do mass tourism because the island is small, and because it's the main thing that we depend on. Having a niche allows us to, just maximize the earnings. So our niche is luxury tourism. We cater to that affluent, high-end traveler. So that's why you see people who have no issues spending $60,000 for a week just to stay at a resort, or even more. It's a destination that attracts a lot of celebrities. Beyonce was recently here. The Kardashians are always here. Drake literally lives here. So we cater to that high-end audience. So there's a niche. And, just also proximity. We're really, really close to the US. It takes like, an hour and a half from Miami, 2.5 hours from New York. There are direct flights coming from the UK, from Canada. Most of the major airlines fly here, so accessibility is key. That airlift is very, very key. And yeah, that is what that. And listen, honestly, I've traveled the length and breadth of the Caribbean. Literally the most beautiful beaches in the world, unparalleled. Unparalleled.
But to attract that niche, what structures are in place in Turks and Caicos? Because you have to, they don't just come just like that. They come because once it's a luxury niche. So there's a certain expectation for things to be in place. What kinds of infrastructure or services are offered for that particular niche?
Well, first of all, let's start with the accommodation, because that is key for people who want to spend money. Accommodation is key. The resorts here are very high-end and they cater to that market. Some of the most beautiful resorts that we are now part of the Virtuoso luxury family. Virtuoso is a luxury platform, a platform of luxury advisors that sell to that audience. So we are part of the Virtuoso family. We have about 8 Virtuoso properties, very, very high-end. There are a lot of luxuries because we offer luxury products. So the customer service is good. You have a lot of services. You have pick up and drop offs at airport, very luxury transportation. And also there's a sense of safety. This destination attracts a lot of repeat visitors. I met a couple the other day at the beach. They've been coming here for 7 years, took a break when they had their baby last year, brought the baby back with them this year. They said to me that they feel safe here. So they come all the time. They don't feel like they have to look over their shoulders. And it just offers them that category of traveler. What they're looking for is peace. They're looking for relaxation. They're looking for exclusivity. They just want to relax. And
are they all-inclusive resorts? It's all-inclusive resorts? It's all-inclusive resorts?
No, they're only 2 all-inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's no sandals there, is there?
There's a beaches. Yes.
Oh, there's a beaches. So that's the family one,
that's
right?
The family resort.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Most of the resorts cater to families because our market is also multi-generational.
Oh.
But beaches is the big family.
What's the food like, Mrs. Phillips?
A lot of seafood, which I don't eat, would you believe?
I thought so,
Punks.
I ride up there with you, don't worry.
We're in lobster season right now. So it's conch, lobster, fish, a lot of seafood, shrimp, crab.
No.
You spoke about crime. What kind of crime is there in Turks and Caicos?
There's crime like everywhere. There is crime. Usually it's located in specific areas. You find where there's a lot of illegal migration from Haiti and Jamaica, the DR. So you find like in those settlements you'll have crime happening, you have murders and stuff happening, but it's not pervasive. It's literally located to those specific areas and among people who probably know each other, gangs, that kind of thing. But it's not widespread, and you feel very safe here. I mean, it took me a while to relax because coming from Trinidad, I think everybody in Trinidad have PTSD or go away and they're looking over your shoulder all the time. Mm-hmm. But it took me a few weeks to just relax and reach a point where I was going to the supermarket and not even locking the car down. I'm like, who am I? What's going on here? But yeah, there is crime, but there is a sense of safety. You do feel comfortable.
Well, we know for sure they have very good internet because we haven't interviewed someone with as clear and concise even visuals and audio as you have.
Don't jinx it, Wendell. Don't jinx
it. Oh gosh. Sorry.
What is the level up with that niche market? What kind of training goes into the service industry? Because if you're catering to a niche luxury market, they have an expectation of 5-star service delivery. What's that like?
Yes, good question. There's a program here that I am very impressed with. It's called TIDES. I'm trying to remember the acronym, but it's a program that every single person in the hospitality sector has to do. I had to do it, and you get when you pass the exam, you get an ambassador card, so you become an ambassador for the island. And basically, what the program is, it's a one-day training course that teaches you about the history of the Turks and Caicos Islands. It teaches you the importance of customer service. The idea is that everybody in hospitality must be on the same page when it comes to talking about the Turks and Caicos Islands. You must know the history. There are so many people from all over the world working in the hospitality sector here that it is important when a visitor asks a question, whether it is from a taxi driver, whether it is from a front desk staff, whether it's from somebody like me, that everybody knows the answer and everybody's on the same page. And more importantly, it is literally tied into you getting your business license. So you don't have a choice but to do it. In order for you to be licensed to offer a service or to work in the hospitality sector, you need to do this training, you need to pass the exam, and the certification lasts for about 2 years. And it's something I absolutely love because it sets a minimum standard for the way everybody operates in the hospitality sector.
Yeah, but you also talked about general customer service in terms of, you know, where people go around the island to stores and bars and restaurants and stuff. Would they all be taking that course, or is it that they're all trained in a different way in terms of customer service?
Because tourism is the main industry here, everything is pretty much tied into tourism. So once you work in the tourism or work for the tourism industry, you have to do it. But because everybody's so aware of the importance of the tourism industry here, you find that the individual companies will do their training, but there's a sense among the people here that this is very important. So giving the best service is priority for them. It's literally their bread and butter, you know?
We're a different market completely to them. We're a different location. I'm going to put aside the crime thing for a while because we know that's a big issue here. What do you think we can learn based on your unique perspective now of having lived and worked in Trinidad and Tobago in your life and now having a year under your belt in that sort of market? What do you think are the opportunities, one, for Tobago, and two, Trinidad and Tobago, given what you know we can offer?
The thing is, I've always said this for years, and Trinidad and Tobago collectively, there are very few categories in tourism that we cannot compete in. Very few. Festivals, culinary. Everybody in the Caribbean calls themselves the culinary capital. But if Trinidad was really serious about pushing that, nobody could come first. So food, festivals, music, heritage, ecotourism, Tobago for the sea, sun, and sand. There's so many, the meetings category, there's so many categories of tourism that we can really compete in and be successful at. I always say Trinidad cannot compete with sun, sea, and sand. Nobody's going to leave all these islands in the North Caribbean with their beautiful beaches to come all the way down to Trinidad for a beach. Trinidad has so much more that we can offer. And I think one of the first things I would love to see us do is really define what we want to be known for. Yes, we place so much emphasis on Carnival, but Trinidad is so much more than Carnival.
Lyman, Richard has been saying it. What's that famous actress name who said it in an interview? Lyman. That's what we do best. Queen Latifah. Lyman. That's what we do best.
So you think we need to define the experience more clearly?
We didn't need to define what do we want to be known for. And like I said, looking at Trinidad from afar, we are so vibrant. That is something we can sell. We are literally, I think at one point, Tourism Trinidad had a slogan saying that we always open. We are literally always open. When do we sleep? We don't sleep in Trinidad, nothing to close. So we need to define who we want, what we want to be known as, and then what are the products we want to sell. We don't really have to create anything, you know. We just have to know how to market it, package it, and sell it. And that's what I would love to see us do. And also understand that tourism is an investment. You have to spend a lot of money on this product. Crime is an issue, yes, but crime is an issue throughout the Caribbean. And I remember asking one of these questions when I was still a journalist in one of these tourism areas. I asked if they were worried about crime, and they said to me that it has not impacted the tourism industry around the Caribbean, because tourists are not the ones being victims of crime generally.
Yeah.
So the tourism in the Caribbean is thriving, even though a lot of islands are grappling with rising crime.
Like Jamaica. Jamaica is a classic example.
Yeah.
Yes.
Point.
Almost every island in the Caribbean have already surpassed their 2019 figures. And 2019 was a benchmark for the Caribbean. That was with the highest arrival figures. Most countries have already surpassed those figures. We have already surpassed those figures. We from January to August, we had about probably 1.3 million arrivals, both air and cruise already. We've surpassed 2023 a long time ago.
So you're saying the population of Trinidad visited Turks and Caicos for the year thus far?
Listen, the amount of Trinis here, working and living here, it's amazing. The amount of Trinis.
Well, that's great. What do you think infrastructure? So you define that we need to define ourselves more clearly.
Yes.
What do you think infrastructurally is missing?
Ooh, I think we need a proper public transportation system.
So do we.
Yeah. The thing is, Turks and Caicos doesn't have a public transportation system. So when you come here, you either rent a taxi, a VIP taxi, or you rent a car, and that's how you move around. Trinidad is so big, and many times, people visit me and I don't know how they want to travel. People like to move around on their own. When you travel, they like to be able to move around on your own. And I don't even know how to begin to explain, well, this is where you go to get a taxi, or this is where you go to get a maxi, or it's so arbitrary, but we know it because we live it. So
this taxi is safe, or this maxi is safe.
Exactly. So we do need a proper public transportation system that people could move around. I think we need. I don't know what's the situation with maps and what we have online, but people need to be able to navigate around the country. Again, there are solo travelers, there are people who just like to come and find their way. We see a lot of influencers coming to Trinidad and finding their way. And sometimes I wonder, do you know where you're going? What if you end up in the wrong spot? Proper signage on trails. I have a lot of friends who hike and there's proper signage sometimes in the trails that they go to. So they're just those little things that we need to do. But I also think, Paul, we need to get the whole population. Tourism is not just one person. It's not an agency. It's the entire country. And I think that is something we need to start selling to the population. And it's not about servitude or submission. It's about how we sell our country, and just everyday interactions with the population is how we sell our country too, right? So we need to Yes?
Yeah. Sorry. What about the transition through the airport? Is it friendly? Is it welcoming? Is it smooth? Is it quick?
In Trinidad?
No, in Turks and Caicos.
Yes, it is pretty smooth. It is pretty smooth and quick. I mean, the airport is very small, and it really has outgrown the numbers that we do here. I'm like literally on one Saturday in peak, March is the peak month, we had like 10,000 people passing through the airport on one Saturday alone. So in peak season, the airport is not adequate enough to accommodate the crowds, but they're doing a lot of expansion, and there's a new airport that will be built soon in the next few years to accommodate the crowds. So, but right now, yes, it is. There are things that you can do if you don't want to stand up in a long line. If there are multiple flights landing at the same time, you can buy like a fast track service that they will meet you at the gate and walk you through immigration, and it's pretty smooth.
What is the political climate like there in Turks and Caicos?
Well, like Trinidad, like a lot of countries in the Caribbean, there will be an election next year. So elections is in the air. So it is very politically charged right now. Very.
Okay. Not divisive though.
Not really. I mean, obviously you have opposition, and the incumbents, knocking heads over various issues, but not divisive.
Okay.
What are the low-hanging fruits? I mean, do you see Tobago as, I'm saying low-hanging fruit in terms of accessibility and things that we can do immediately and make some gains? Do you think, are there low-hanging fruit that you see with some sort of focus that we can get? I know there's been an increase in cruise ships to Trinidad. There's the issue last year in Tobago when the cruise ship went there, which didn't look good for Tobago. But what do you see as Tobago's potential as separate from Trinidad, if you care to separate them at all?
I really wish we don't separate them, but I understand why we do. I think Trinidad and Tobago together is a great package. Tobago has what we don't have. We have what Tobago does not have. So it's a good 2-for-1. But Tobago on its own could really be, I mean, a lot of people describe Tobago as the last unspoiled island in the Caribbean. It really, really is. I mean, you have Dominica, which is also unspoiled, but Tobago really is still, it's not overdeveloped. It's still very quaint. A lot of the culture and heritage is still very much intact. I would just like to see them focus on a market. Tobago could easily focus on a niche market like luxury tourism, but they need to get the accommodation in place, because travelers do want good 5-star, 4-star accommodation, and they need to just really just market. I think Tobago just needs to really market itself, even now without the proper accommodation and stuff. It just needs to market itself. It's still such a surprise for a lot of people. And I deal with travel advisors all the time, right? That is a key thing in tourism. We deal with travel advisors all the time, and when people ask me where I'm from, the first thing they say is, "Oh, I don't know there." What is that?
Really? Still?
Yes. A lot of people don't, and travel advisors are the ones selling these destinations, right? They're very important. And a lot of them still don't.
But for years now, we've heard, no matter who is in power, that these people in the tourism ministry and TITCO and whatever else agency come around. They travel to the World Tourism Conferences, and people are still asking, who is, you have to actually reference Brian Larry from there, or Dwight York is from there to give a reference, and then they understand where it is. We still have that marketing and brand presence issue.
Here's the thing, Paul, and this is one thing I love about tourism. It reminds me so much of media. It is not static. It is constantly changing, constantly evolving, and you constantly have to do the work. There was a time, yes, we were very active with all the shows, the conferences, we were doing a lot of marketing, but we fell off. And if you don't do the work, the world moves on. You have to constantly do the work. You have to constantly be present. You have to constantly have a presence at these events. You have to constantly be marketing. You have to have a constant presence in the international media. You have to constantly be working with advisors. We do a lot of training with our travel advisors. Even though they sell luxury, we still do a lot of training with them to educate them on the product. What are we selling? What is our angle? What are we pushing? We do a lot of training with them, because they now have to turn around and sell this destination. So if we in Trinidad and Tobago aren't doing that, then the world will just move on.
As successful as Turks and Caicos is, they don't take it for granted, and they're constantly working on not only improving their product, but the sale of their product.
You have to, because everybody else is doing it. This tourism is a highly competitive industry. We are competing with other islands in the Caribbean who go after luxury market. You're competing for airlift, you're competing for tourist dollars, we constantly competing. And you have to do the work. So like right now, the winter season is about to start. We are out there pushing. We are at all the trade shows. We pushing. I'm dealing with a lot of international media, booking media buys, all these things, because you have to stay top of mind. We are the top premium class destination in the Caribbean. That is not something you can't rest on your laurels. You have to keep fighting to keep that position, because everybody else coming up.
It seems very clear from what you're saying, Laura, that Turks and Caicos is very clear on what their brand is and how to market, and constantly, I suppose, even adapt when necessary, but keeping on message of what their brand is. Are we clear on what brand Trinidad and Tobago is? Because sometimes I'm not so sure that the tourism officials know what it is, because sometimes you hear festival tourism, then you hear nature tourism, you hear Tobago is something else, So are we coherent enough in terms of our marketing?
I don't think so. That is why I said we need to determine what we want the country to be known for. We need to start there. The government needs to start there. I heard Carmen talking about sports tourism, and that's wonderful. We have, like I said, there's so many categories that Trinidad could compete in. We don't have to choose one or the other, but we just need to decide what we want to be known for. And that message changes. It doesn't have to be the same message for a million years. You can decide this year we want to be known for, we want to push sports tourism. We want to be known as a place where we welcome the whole sporting world here. Fine. That could be a message for 2 years. And then in 2 years' time, you change it. In Turks and Caicos, the messaging before, the slogan is beautiful by nature, and it was all about promoting nature and promoting Providencialis, where I am located. Now the message is that we're a multi-island destination because it's 8 inhabited islands that we have. So our message now, we're a multi-island destination, and we want people not to come just to come to Provo, but go to the other islands and experience what the other islands have to offer, because we want everybody to benefit from the tourism industry. So we just need to decide in this moment, what do we want to be known as, and what are the products now that support that message that we want to put out there, and then just market that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
absolutely.
I'll probably try Turks and Caicos one of these days.
Yes,
you know what? We should do a show there.
yes, you should.
For a week, Turks and Caicos.
Yes, you should come. Let me know. Send me a proposal, but also work with all your money because we're not cheap.
Paul will take care of it first, because we only allow $240 every visit.
Yeah, we are luxury destination, gentlemen.
So you handle your accommodation, we'll work in some spending.
Laura, are there opportunities for local artists and thespians like what he named up there to come and take advantage of the tourist market that you have there? Do you see that kind of potential? Is the entertainment sector there welcoming in that way?
I think there would be. I think there are a lot of opportunities like for collaboration. It will have to be very collaborative, of course, because there are, there's a theater company here. They've put on a couple productions. There are a lot of artists here. The music here is Ragoobarsingh music, very similar to that of the Bahamas, because in at one point, Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas were administratively the same country. So the culture is very similar. So they are Ragoobarsingh. That is their genre of music, and they use they use a lot of saws, and you know how we have our engine room with the grater and all those things. They use those.
Is it like John Canoe?
It is John Canoe. It's called Ragoobarsingh. That's the music that they play at John. It's called Ragoobarsingh. Okay. So yeah, so they and the music, I love it. It reminds me of long time calypso. It's very heavy with storytelling, but they love soca music here. I hear so much soca here. We've had artists come. We had Nadia Batsna, Mikal, Tasia here recently. We had Patrice. Soca artists are always here. They do a lot of soca shows. They play soca music all the time, dance all the time. So they're very big on Caribbean culture. So yes, I think there's opportunity for collaboration, definitely, and to come and just come and check out the vibes and see what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. How does the government, or should I say the Ministry of Tourism, embrace technology in getting people into Turks and Caicos?
Oh, over here?
Yeah.
Okay, so that will be us experience Turks and Caicos, right? We are the DMO for the islands, the Destination Management Organization. We replace the tourist board, so that'll be us. Right now, well, let me just preface this by saying Experience Turks and Caicos is a year old. They dissolved the tourist board and created this new entity to do. We have a wider mandate than what the tourist board would have had. So we are a new entity, and we're in the process right now of redoing our website, where we could do.
Parent Life Occupational Therapy, with 3 lucky patrons of the True Talk No Lie production.
Okay, somebody is playing something.
Okay,
It's very loud.
Oh, okay, yes, it is. Yeah, I was saying, so we are now in the process of doing our overall website, which will incorporate a lot of AI and other bits of technology to allow for people to like book directly and do those sorts of things on our website. One of the things we have invested a lot in is data collection. That is huge for us because we are smart DMO, so we use data for everything. We don't make decisions without looking at the data, analyzing the data. We actually have a market intelligence manager, and that department that focuses on curating and analyzing data. Hugely important for us. So we have data on everything. We could tell what our numbers are going to look like in December. We could tell what our air capacity is looking like already in December, what the searches have been like for us for the entire year, where the searches are coming from.
Wow, it's that detailed and predictive.
Yes. And how the searches convert into bookings. So when Mr. Emwood was doing the budget and he spoke about how great our tourism is doing, I was like, show me the data. I don't want to hear. I want to hear the numbers, because that is the air, that is the game, that is where we play. We play in numbers. So we could tell our numbers, and we could then plan we could see which markets are softening, which markets are not. We could tell where searches are very high, but it doesn't convert into bookings. And so we know
what is working, what is not working.
Well, look at how the shadow minister of tourism done taking notes from you this morning to challenge this budget.
No, but it's actually fascinating, and you can tell that you're excited about what you're learning about how modern day tourism and how modern day marketing of destinations is done using data analytics. Because I mean, that's where you can't if it's one thing you can't fight is data.
Yes.
Although someone told us recently that facts are subjective, but
yeah, facts are subjective.
Yeah, we live in a world where facts are subjective, but data is data, right? And you can't make proper decisions and plan strategies without knowing what you're doing. You can't shoot in the dark. This is not an industry where you can shoot in the dark. You really have to know.
So let me put you in a comfortable position. I know you're very happy in your job there, and when somebody decides,
you could see it.
I saw Laura on television and radio this morning, heard her on radio this morning, and I think she's a vital asset. I'm going to bring her back to apply what she's learned in Turks and Caicos to help us improve our tourism product and our tourism drive in Trinidad. What are the top 3 things you would do? Free expertise.
The top things to do run tourism in Trinidad? Oh,
yeah, top 3 things you would change.
I would bring Tobago and Trinidad back together. That's one. For sure.
You know, that's a very good point. That's a point.
I would bring us back together. I don't like the separate marketing thing. I find it divisive and political. I would definitely implement a very, very strong, after doing all the groundwork and what the message is and what I want to sell, I would develop a very strong marketing campaign and slogan. And I would sell it to Trinidadians and Tobagonians first. It starts at home. I would implement a local tourism campaign first because we need to get everybody on board. It doesn't make sense us going out there and telling people come, and when they reach here, Trinidadians don't know what's going on. And I will also implement a similar program to the Tides because there are a lot of Trinidadians and Tobagonians who do not know our country. A lot. You have to know your country. You can't sell your country if you don't know it. You have to know the country. So those are the things I would do.
All right, what about the airlift history? Because I attended a conference some years ago. I hosted, moderated a panel some years ago. And there was the assertion from the Caribbean Tourism Organization, CTO. I did a few in communication with them, that if airlift was more affordable in the region, we wouldn't need non-CARICOM or non-regional tourists to drive all the islands in the Caribbean successfully.
We still need them because they have money, but and they will spend. But yes, listen. Inter-Caribbean travel it's way too expensive, and it is hampering accessibility, not even just for Caribbean people, but even the foreigners. Because a lot of people's impression of the Caribbean is that they could come to one island and just happily hop, skip, and jump to every other island, and then they get to the Caribbean and realize they can't do that. Right? Unless you work a cluster of islands and try to do it that way. But yeah, it's too high, and that honestly is the governments of the Caribbean have to decide what they really want. The main issue has been the airport taxes. A lot of countries, people are reluctant to cut those taxes because they use it. A lot of islands use those taxes for infrastructure development and different things. But those airport taxes are pretty high. So if that comes down, maybe. The thing is, we have so many airlines, regional airlines operating in the Caribbean. It's not just CAL. I flew the other day on Cayman Airways for the first time. Really good service. There's Arajet out to DR. There's Caicos Airways here. There's Inter-Caribbean. Liat is back. Bahamas Air. There's so many airlines operating in the Caribbean right now. But
how many land in Trinidad and Tobago? That's the issue. They land where you are, but they don't land here.
No, and that's the thing. I don't know if maybe it's too expensive. I don't know if they're not getting any permission. I don't know if they applied. I know Inter-Caribbean had applied. I saw an article about that, to fly to Trinidad, to come into Trinidad. But I don't know what
Cal is very protective of these shows. Laura Dorich, congratulations on your amazing work. Your insight is quite very, very intriguing this morning. I hope
Yeah, very interesting conversation.
Very much so.
really the authorities, Minister Mitchell and whoever else needs to be listening to this, because I think you have a lot to offer. I ain't saying you're leaving where you are because you're in the big money. Just saying.
Let me just say, I've covered travel in addition to entertainment, but I covered travel and tourism for a very long time. So this is was actually one of my passions. So to be actually working in it full time is amazing, and I absolutely love it.
I've always heard the name Laura Doris Phillips, but I've never had the pleasure of speaking to you or anything like that.
Same, Wendell. It's good to meet you finally.
And the thing about Laura, because I know Laura, and tell me if this helped you a lot, because you were trained in the UK in digital media, not so?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that aspect of your training, I'm sure, brings to bear how you're able to navigate the data-driven world and to market in the digital world successfully. Because I know that training in the UK that you did helped you a lot.
Yes, my class was actually first class ever to do online media. And that was in the height of, that was 1999. That was in the height of the dot-com boom. So we were the very first class ever to do online media. We were learning to build websites using HTML coding and that kind of thing. And I actually worked for a travel startup in London at the time, doing.
You were a child student.
You see, and that's I'm glad that she has the experience in Turks and Caicos. But when we talk about the expertise and the talent we have in Trinidad and Tobago, sometimes just goes outside because they get better opportunities.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And couldn't you see Laura in the Ministry of Tourism making a significant difference? I can.
I would love to. But you know what? This experience is very invaluable for me. Being able to operate at this level in the tourism industry, it's really been. I mean, I knew the industry before, but the year that I've been here, I've learned so much more. It's been amazing. But I would love to come back to Trinidad and do this at home.
Hint.
Wendell Mitchell, are you listening?
Thanks for being with us this morning. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me.
I'm curious though, before you go, Miss Dorrit Phillips. The only other person I know with that surname Dorrit is a Bajan, a guy who plays cricket in Barbados. Yeah, I don't know that name other than that.
Well, my grandfather was Bajan, and so yes, I'm related to those Dorridges, but I don't know him.
Okay, all right. All right. Thanks for clearing
a grapevine kind of thing.
Have a great Beyonce, Drake, Kardashian weekend.
What about PDD? He ever come there?
I don't know.
Good answer.
Move away from the Diddy.
Move
away from the Diddy. Laura, thanks. Have a great weekend.
All the best to you. Take care.
All right, Laura. Take care.
Oh, she has an infectious smile, eh?
Yeah, isn't it amazing what our locals can go to other jurisdictions and do?
Yeah, for sure.
Without getting beaten down and this and that.
But I mean, I would love them to bring her back here and so she could apply, if they're willing to listen, what she's learned there to move her up. And that contention that she has. We don't know what we're selling, or we change what we're selling so often.
Exactly. And data-driven.
Laura, stay in Turks and Caicos again.
I'm telling you. Stay right
there, Laura. Stay right there. Because any appointment is often political in Trinidad and Tobago, and it never lasts.
And then they change the direction in 2 years, and you get frustrated.
Exactly. And all of a sudden you hear whoever was the manager is no longer the manager. They replace them with somebody else because somebody stepped on somebody too.
Yep.
Oh, it's too much.
Or she's brought back and nobody listens to her. Because they have their own agenda, and she gets frustrated because they bring you back because of their expertise, and they don't want to listen to you because they're on their own agenda.
Yeah, Laura will say, Wendell, show me the data. Yeah, you ain't need no data, man. I'm telling you as it is. That's how it goes.
No. Don't give that company the contract. Give Wendell the contract.
Yeah.
In the Turks and Caicos, it's just like when President Kamona was going up for the presidency, and I tell him, what are you doing? You just get appointed to the Hague, go to Amsterdam and ride bikes.
You know, amazed as you raise this, your President Kamona. You know, I see him regularly, right? And walking through St. James alone, you know. Nobody with him.
Yeah. Or in the grocery, I see him often in the grocery.
Yeah, he goes by that Harvard thing there. Sometimes, I don't know if it's lotto or play with. Sometimes he will go and think, but he's by himself most times. I mean, I'm no obvious security. Let me say that. Next thing you know, I say I'm setting up the man. No obvious security.
Former president should be allocated security.
I think so.
In my opinion.
My understanding is that it should, in principle, but in those situations, special branch does a risk assessment.
But he was always like that, you know. So Anthony Comona was always like that, you know. Always
a regular downtown person, yeah.
And picking up people, giving
going
them
up Pan Yard and sit down and listen to Pan and talking to people.
He was always like that. He was always like that. He was always
Have a great weekend, y'all.
Yes, folks.
I know there's a wonderful play coming up this weekend. I can't remember what it is, but
it's called That's Extravagant News.
Bye-bye.
And it's on at Supper, and it starts tomorrow. Well, it started in Queens Hall last weekend, but we're on at Supper this weekend. So San Fernando, we coming down San Fernando, and we bring in plenty tempo. With That's Extravagant News tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday at 6:30 p.m. We are so excited. We always love coming down San Fernando. And to all of our patrons down there who support theater down here, we are on our way. Of course, the box office at Sapa opens from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And of course, you can get tickets at K Squared Fashions at C3 Center, K Squared Fashions Gulf City, and K Squared Fashions in Brentwood Mall and Chagonas, as well as Fens of Marabella by the Roundabout. Yes, there is a Fens of Marabella by the Roundabout. You can get your tickets there too. So, and of course, you can check RSR Productions Theatre on social media, where you can purchase tickets online. You can see the methodology to accomplish that. We are so looking forward, South, to coming down this weekend. Looking forward to having a wonderful time and a wonderful, fantastic 2 shows in South with That's Extravagant News. I mean, the reports have been really wonderful. You can see a lot of the reviews you're getting on social media concerning it. Don't miss it. Of course, next week we have the Cipriani College. But have a fantastic weekend, whatever you do, and you should be doing That's Extravagant News. And we speak to you bright and early on Monday morning. Remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. And that's what That's Extravagant News will give you. Laughter.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard Rich. Have a great weekend, guys. Let's get into our 8 o'clock news brief because the anniversary lady is in.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
It is time for your update to 8 o'clock. I'm Afril Sentel Bab. Good morning. Opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissassa will deliver her reply to the $59.7 billion national budget in Parliament today at 10. She was the same or has the same amount of speaking time for her presentation as Finance Minister Colm Imbert, who delivered the national budget entitled Steadfast and Resolute, Forging Pathways to Prosperity on Monday. Rural Development and Local Government Minister Faris Al-Rawi is defending the wage increase for public sector workers. He says that the 5% wage offer is not something which is being imposed on public sector workers. Al-Rawi also welcomed an increase in the minimum wage for public sector workers as announced in the 2024-2025 budget. He welcomed the benefit this increase will have on workers who fall under his ministry, such as those in the Community-Based Environmental Protection and Enhancement Program, or CPEP. The mother of Gerald Felix, who was gunned down along with his cousin Mario De Leon outside the Felix family's Dookie Street home on Wednesday night, has passed away. During the pre-dawn hours on Thursday, Gerald's mother, Cecilia, died at the San Fernando General Hospital from what families suspect to be dengue fever, owing to her extremely low blood platelet count. Felix, who celebrated her 90th birthday on September 28th, is said to have died without knowing that her son and nephew were both murdered as she was brought to the hospital earlier on Wednesday by Gerald, who, after returning home, was shot dead. While there is no official word yet from kidnapped victim Sajal Kunj Bihari, reports are that an unidentified body has been discovered in central Trinidad. Investigators are in the process of trying to identify the body. 2 police officers are also still assisting detectives of the Professional Standards Bureau in connection with the investigation of the kidnapping of the foreign used car dealer. Well, that was your update to 8 o'clock. Look out for news in full at 12 noon.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.